what it means for us to be at the helm of our personal well-beings so we can offer our businesses our top-notch selves. So let's welcome the speakers for this session. Please join me in welcoming Moica Kokal Imsirovic. A certified coach and motivational speaker, Moica is also a family business expert and founder of Matherium. It's a pleasure to welcome you, beautiful. What a gown, look at that. Look at, give us a turnaround. Woo! Yes!
I finally found my femininity and I'm not giving it away.
Welcoming Ruth Cooper Dixon. All right. The founder and managing director of Champs Consulting Limited, a global mental health consultancy. Welcoming you, beautiful. Magdalena Fabcic. Magdalena is an expert for ladies in midlife crisis and lifestyle consultant, helping women in that vulnerable time reinvent themselves. Amazing. Andrea Gulic. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrea. She's a personal trainer, wait for it, and she specializes in mommy fitness. So, she specializes in activating your core, your pelvic floor, especially works with moms who've just had babies or about to have babies, really bringing them to the best of their health. Amazing. Alexandra Sarah Hardy. Woohoo! Alexandra, coming from the UK, welcoming you, Alexandra. Beautiful. Thank you. Is a melting pot of a little bit of the world. She's half Slovenian, half English. She's a linguist expert, and we can't wait to hear from you. Is something missing here? What should we add as a cherry to this pie? Let's add Sunil. All right. Please welcome Sunil Hasmukrai, an international motivational speaker and the president of Malaysian Association of Professional Trainers and Coaches, coming from Kuala Lumpur. Welcoming all of you. We're speaking about well-being, and we're speaking with the world of experts from across the globe on this topic. So please welcome our first speaker, Moica Kokal Imsirovic, to enlighten us with her journey.
Thank you very much.
Would you like this?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mansi. Wow, I must say that this event is like, I'm vibrating from the first day.
Wow.
Actually, this is my first time being among a lot of gorgeous women, empowering women, spirited women, and I'm so proud because this was for years, the biggest fear. Because exactly what last speaker Andrea said, there were a lot of sparrows, the ugly ones. So, thank you. Well, my story began 7 years ago when A doorbell changed my life forever. It was snowy January morning, January 13, 2013, and that was the day I found out that my mother-in-law had a stroke. And for the next 5 weeks, she was in coma, and we didn't know if she would survive, and if she, with what consequences. And that was also the same day that me and my husband, became entrepreneurs over the night, taking over a family business without any experience, without any preparation or guidance, and without any knowledge, and with fear. But unfortunately, the magic happened, the miracle, and our mother-in-law survived and recovered very well after 1 year. So God bless her. But the thing was, I never had a chance to lead a team before. And for your surprise, I never lead or run a business before. I was a scientist on maternity in biochemistry, on maternity leave with 3 months old baby boy. And of course, it was a shock for me. Shock for me because my life turned around in one night. And I was also pressured, the responsibility with my husband, what we had to take over, to be, how could I say it? Responsibility, yeah. to take over a business that was family business, that was 23-year-old family tradition, and also a very big responsibility for our employees and their families too. It was a stainless steel company, and with 13 employees, as I said, also 23-year-old tradition. And we didn't let our family down in our crisis, but we stepped up and we were fighting, because after a week in the paperwork, we realized that the company was in serious financial trouble. And we said, we didn't even have a choice. It was like, or we take over, or we will be on the street because of the debt that was accumulated. So we step it up, suck it up, and find the strength, and we take over, and we were fighting for 3 years. In these 3 years, we were innovative and creative, and we pushed our brand out, but we drove ourselves to the collapse. On the airplane, they say you need to put the mask to yourself first in the case of emergency. Well, we put to everybody else except ourselves, and we were the last on our help list. So my husband and I both severe multiple burnouts, and we fall down. And after the lowest point, after 6 months, then with intensive therapy, we said we want to live. And that's why I'm so shaking today, because of this experience. I was just thinking that maybe I would be here today. That would be so much disaster. Okay. So we find out our way through a lot of our mentors and coaches, and we find the strength. And that's why I'm teaching today people how to develop themselves first, to be the best version of yourself first in order to have a successful business. That is why I'm on my mission to help millions of people, men, women, entrepreneurs, even couples, that they don't sabotage their marriages, their businesses, and that no entrepreneur had ever my English, they don't take their lives. This is my mission, that's why I'm here. Thank you. And I will give you with the last what to do, what to do. If you didn't start learning yet, explore yourself, find yourself who you are as a person, grow yourself. Remember, find out why are you here and what do you want in your life. That's the most part. Don't set the goals too low. Be courageous, be outrageous, and set them high, because eventually they can come true. And what we found out that personal well-being is crucial for successful business. It is so crucial, like you open a bank account for your company. That's crucial how it is. And your business, I will end with this speech. Your business can only grow to the extent that your own personal growth does. Let me repeat it again. Your business can only grow to the extent that your personal growth does. Thank you.
Thank you, Moitza, for being courageous, for being outrageous in your own beautiful ways, and sharing so generously and magnanimously your journey. We're inspired by it. Welcoming Ruth Cooper Dixon, the founder and MD of Champs Consulting. Which one do you prefer?
Yes, thank you. Hello, hi. Can I just say that I spoke to Mansi yesterday by the elevator after day one, and all you incredible people who are speaking and sharing personal stories and journeys, and English isn't your first language. There is seriously no way I could do it in any other language. So a round of applause to everyone who's learning and, taking all this in and speaking in English. Thank you. Okay, so Top Business Forum, what do we know about it? Well, a decade ago, I was working in Hong Kong and in financial recruitment, and the director I worked for at the time said to me he was going to give me one life lesson that I should always remember. And that is, whenever you do something, question that and ask, is this going to make me money? Let me repeat that. Is this going to make me money? So, when we think about business performance and we think about being a leader, we've heard the stories of the superhero, the person that never sleeps, work hard, play hard, sleep when you're dead. Always achieving, always accelerating, always perfect, never making mistakes, am I right? Is that all of you? And I'm not disagreeing with the fact that to be successful in business, you shouldn't want to achieve. We can all dream big. We can all want to excel in the fields that we choose to be in. We can all be titans of industry and commerce. But what I would suggest is that we evaluate and we step back and we look at what happens when we don't put personal well-being center stage to both our mission and values when it comes to our business and its performance. And I have a recent example of this with myself, which only happened last week. And last week was a pretty rough week, and it was hard and it was tough. And I don't know if it was just because it was the end of January or whatever, but I was really feeling it. Nothing bad, nothing traumatic had happened, but I was feeling low mood. I was feeling quite anxious, and I have several anxiety disorders, so sometimes when I'm tired and fatigued, it catches up with me. And I was just in that space of not feeling great. So what was the impact of that? Well, I was ruminating. I was having these spiraling thoughts, thinking, I've got too much to do, not enough time. I was trying to do everything and achieving nothing. I was taking it out on my team. They were getting the rough end of it. And I was just exhausted. And I was traveling after a meeting. It was mid-afternoon on a Wednesday. And I was traveling home on the London Underground, and I was literally sat there with my head in my hands, tears in my eyes, thinking, I hate everything. I don't think I'm a good leader. I don't even know why I'm doing this business. We've all had days like that, right? And I sat there on the seat on the train, and this gentleman who sat opposite me looked at me, and I must have looked pretty bad for a Wednesday afternoon. And he said to me, he made eye contact, and he said, "Is everything all right?" Wow. On the London Underground, no one speaks to you. Like literally, right? You don't speak on the London Underground if you've ever been on it. And for me, when somebody asks you if you're all right, especially a stranger, and a stranger shows you kindness, I do believe it is the universe sending you that divine message of stop. And he asked me again, is everything all right? And I started to tell him, it's okay, it's just work stuff. And he said to me, look, don't stress about it. Imagine a box, stand outside the box, observe your feelings, okay? And everything will be okay. The irony of a stranger teaching the well-being expert / coach about stress. So we had this conversation, and he explained to me that he was an electrician. He was wearing all his work gear, and he had all his tools. And he said to me, when I go to a client, I say to my clients, as soon as I get there, don't worry, I can fix it. And they say to him, well, how do you know you can fix it? Because you've just got here. And he says, because everything is fixable. Wow. Okay, repeat that, everything is fixable. I was like, wow, okay. And he said to me, everything is fixable. So I had this revelation moment of, okay, I know what I need to do. So I got home that afternoon, and I sent an email to my team, and I said, do not contact me for the next 2 days unless it's urgent. Because what happened was I'd been pouring from my personal well-being cup literally since after the Christmas break. I'd been giving all my well-being, everything out of my cup. I've been pouring it to my team, to my leadership, to my clients, delivering all my projects. And actually, there was nothing left in my cup for myself. And I thought, right, I need to go and fix this. So the next few days, I spent time for myself. I listened to some podcasts that I really wanted to catch up on. I went for a long run. I had breakfast with a friend that I hadn't seen for a while. I ended up having a 2-hour lunch with a connection I'd made on social media. I had a long bath. I did all these lovely little things for me that basically filled my well-being cup up. And not only did that have an impact on me, that actually had an impact on my business, because my team knew I was on the edge, so it gave them a bit of headspace. But also that 2-hour lunch that I had turned into a fantastic creative project. And the headspace I'd given myself, free from the pressures, had actually given me an opportunity to reflect on some new ideas and bring that creativity back into my business. So I would suggest that, therefore, if you're filling up your own personal well-being, not only is it going to help you, but it's also going to help the creativity, the abundance, and the magic back to your business and back to its business performance. What I'd like you to do right now on that piece of paper in front of you or on your phone, I want you to write one thing you're going to do for yourself next week. One thing, small thing, that's going to fill up your personal well-being cup. So I'll leave you with this message that bring your passion, bring your whole self to work, but remember to keep filling up your personal well-being cup, because if you're thinking, unlike that director back in Hong Kong, is this going to make me money? think, is this going to fill my personal well-being, which will actually result in better business, and not only that, better business performance, and help you, your team, and your clients to be on top business form. Thank you.
Stunning. Ruth, that was remarkable. We were hanging on to your every word, really. Thank you. And those profound life lessons coming from an electrician, I'm not about to forget that anytime soon. That was great. Thank you for your sharing. Welcoming next, Magdalena Fabcic. This one? Oh, perfect.
Try. So, yesterday we got the advice not to dress in black, because nobody will remember us. But as I slept in the hotel, I couldn't change my outfit. But at least I put on red shoes. So, but the truth is, red shoes, red, because red is my color, and they give me power from the ground up. So there's also a funny story about my red shoes. When I put them on for the first time, was October last year, a friend of mine looked at me, a girlfriend, and she asked me, wondering, when I'm 50, will I get legs like yours? And I told her, just keep running, sister, keep running, and you have 4 more years. So, hopefully you get them. So, I am a menopause coach. And as you can imagine, I've gone through the hormonal roller coaster myself too. So, it was, not nice. Being irritable, like a biting dog, poor my husband, and tearful, crying for half of the night because there was not a good reason, just crying, and frightened, really frightened by the long, heavy menstrual bleedings, fatigued, exhausted, till I thought I could sleep for a year, but I couldn't even for one whole night because I was sleepless, with itches, pains, and not to talk about the hot flashes, night sweats that were just killing my sense of humor. So something was happening. It was not pleasant. My own body was telling me that there was time for change. First step was understanding what's going on. So as a biologist, I thought first, okay, just, physiology, hormonal changes, but it was not that easy. I needed a real deep introspection and listening carefully to the message my body was sending me. And the message was about my lifestyle. Because it was just too stressed and without any care for myself. Just some sport, and that was all. And then I started to look for solutions, and after working, for long years in the pharma industry, I was sure no hormonal replacement therapy, please. Just natural solutions, remedies. It was a lot of search, testing, many disappointments, big promises, just marketing behind. Yes, some experiments I would not tell in public. But at the end, I had to make just big lifestyle changes. That means more sleep, that was always my weak point, more sports, more meditation, much better food, and more love for myself. So, slowly, I felt normal again. Okay, I kept the hot flashes, so I keep this as a hallmark, Without this, I'm not going anywhere. But all the other things, Other things are just working now. And something unexpected changed. I got boldness, courage I never had before. And against all my doubts and fears, I decided to go my way, to start my own business. And that time my search for purpose in my life ended, because the purpose found me. It was the call for supporting women through the big change of menopause, holding space for them, helping them in the journey that it's, full of fears and challenges and issues, helping with advice, support, encouraging them, coaching them. And also bringing all this help and support to their workplaces, into the companies they work in. And of course, I have to be the role model for them. So, a living proof that after 50, you can feel better than ever before in your life. And that is possible only if I take care of myself, of course. And I can tell you, my body now is more flexible than ever before. And it keeps flexible also my mind. My mind is flexible and creative. So, looking all the time for new ideas that are driving my business and my life purpose fulfilling. And all my experience, sorrows, pains I've gone through made me resilient and really persistent in striving for the things I care about. Feeling strong and powerful even without the red shoes. And letting my soul dream. I remember every day that my body is the vessel of my soul. My thoughts, my dreams, my love. I just need to stay connected, moment after moment. For this, I invite you, all of you, to connect for a moment with your body. Just sit straight, straighten your spine. Your head is softly on your neck. Relax your shoulders, your back, and close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Feel your feet touching the ground. And slowly, slowly inhale and exhale till your lungs are empty. Again, inhale and slowly exhale. And your breath is bringing a soft energy, calmness into your body. You feel your breath till your fingers and toes. Just slowly inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale again. And feel the soft energy filling all your body. And now, slowly, slowly open your eyes and look to the person next to you and give her a smile. Look deep, deep into her eyes. Do you feel your soul dancing into your body? Thank you.
Thank you, Magdalena, for taking us on that sweet journey and helping us ground even without red shoes. We feel grounded. We feel like you unleashed our boldness and creativity. Yes, high 10 to you. Thank you. Welcoming the lovely Andrea Gulic, personal trainer at Mammy Plus Center.
Hello. I'm so happy that I can just tell a story because Mojca told about that she found her femininity. I did too. And I'm not leaving it. So the second thing, Ruth talked about like burnout. And I was the one who was so proud to tell the people that I can do anything. I can work from 5 to 10 a.m. I was the one who was doing everything by myself because I can do it. I'm strong, I'm smart, and I have my own power. I was a teacher in primary school. I was a personal trainer for women. I was a personal trainer for kids, playing basketball, for gymnastics. I was a daughter to a trainer and perfect mother, you know, when everything must be in place. And I could do everything. And wearing this rock feeling, wearing this Wonder Woman feeling, wearing this gold medal, I can do everything by myself, proud of it. Till I had labor. I birthed my first daughter. Then everything changed. This fit, energized, beautiful Wonder Woman changed. I changed. I earned myself fecal and urine incontinence because I was training too hard, too much, and wrong. All through, I was a personal trainer. I played basketball in the biggest team of Slovenia. I was trained by different trainers. I did all the fancy these seminars about about Pilates, about everything I knew. But I earned it. And I had diastasis recti. And I earned myself abdominal hernia. And my confidence was like down there. And this was my first low point of life that I didn't recognize myself. And everyone I ask, tell me, how can I change that? Well, you're a mother now. What do you expect? You cannot be fit and energized anymore. Then I went to physiotherapist. Well, this happens. Well, this happened to you for a reason. And this happened for me with a reason. And yesterday they all talked about one woman. They talked about passion, purpose. I smiled because I really know what excites me. I really know what my passion is. I really know and feel this energy in me. And I know that you cannot find passion outside of you. Because this passion, when you say, I'm passionate about, I'm saying that I'm energized. I wake up in the morning feeling, yes, I will help another woman to solve this. Because you cannot have well-being. You cannot have this self-confidence if you're leaking, okay? You cannot have it if you leak. You don't leak just urine, you leak your confidence, you leak your power, you leak your everything. And this is just a body telling you that something is wrong and you're doing it wrong. And yesterday I was watching all of you, how you sit, how you stand up. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. Because this is the starting point. I'm a personal trainer now, just personal trainer. I left my 10 years job in school as a teacher because this passion turned myself into my business. And I help to empower women now to take care of their pelvic floor, their core, their back. How many moms are here? Can you, wow. And I know that you cannot feel your well-being, you cannot feel your confidence if your back hurts, right? You can't feel your confidence if you're leaking. You can't feel your confidence if you must think first, do I need pads? Should I go play with my kids and jump on trampoline? No, better not. This is joy you're missing just because of this. And I know that you're enough. And you always be enough. But the first step you have to take is take care of yourself, your body, and your pelvic floor. Because this is the self-confidence from inside out. This is self-confidence. And please, can you sit with me? Oh, can I borrow?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Already done.
Okay. Okay, can you stand up for me? Just for 1 second. Oh, no, I changed my mind. Okay, just sit down. Okay. Can you stand up again? Oh, come on. Stand up again. Oh, no. Sit down.
Sit down.
And now look yourself. When you stood up, you did like this. Okay? When you stand up, you did like this. Okay? That's wrong, because you're hurting your back, you're hurting your pelvic floor, you're hurting your stomach. Okay? So when you sit down, you have to have this curve on your spine, neutral. Okay? When you sit down, can you sit with me on your sit bones? Do you feel your sit bones? Oh yeah, men have them too. Okay, and men have pelvic floor too. And we all have to do this pelvic floor exercises, men too. Okay, so these are sit bones. This is healthy pelvic floor. If you sit like this, you ruin your coccyx, okay? And you're stretching the pelvic floor so the pelvic floor cannot function right. Okay, and you're putting all your organs in front. So you cannot train 2 times per week for a better core, for six-pack, for strong core that your back won't hurt. You cannot do this. That's why every time when you sit on your sit bones, okay? You feel your feminine power, your inside strength, okay? And when you sit like this, you have a connection with pelvic floor and your diaphragm, okay? If you sit like this straight, like this, you cannot breathe right. If you cannot breathe right, there is no connection with pelvic floor, you're ruining it. If you sit like this, you feel confident, yeah, but you're ruining your pelvic floor and core, so it's not good for you. And the one thing I would like you to have this with you for this day, for every day. You're worth it, of your inner strength from pelvic floor up. So, when sitting, when standing, okay, take care of yourself. If you need help, I'm here for you. I'm a personal trainer, coach for pelvic floor, core with small steps forward. Okay, so your first step and small steps. Ask yourself multiple times, how are you? And when you ask yourself, try to find a way, how could you feel a little bit better? A little bit. Just a little bit. And don't follow the crowd. Please don't follow the crowd with the nutritionist, with all the challenges, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 squats, 1,000, wherever you want. You're worth it. Okay, watch out for your body, for your heart, and for your mind. This is your first step forward. And sit straight. And breathe. You're enough. Thank you.
Andrea, that power you exude, though, how can we not sit straight? Look at everyone. Look at what you've done to them. But I also want to say, you know, in the Eastern philosophy, in our tradition, in the yogic tradition, you talk about the core. Now, the core is the solar plexus. It's the powerhouse. It's the seat of our operations. It's it's where a lot of the processing takes place. So it all begins at the physical level. If we sit right and we stand right, it can be a game changer. Thank you for your expert, phenomenal presence and demonstration. Please join me in welcoming a very special lady, Alexandra Sarah Hardy, a trainer and a coach, coming to us with a very special story, a moving story. I welcome you with all our hearts, Alexandra. Oh, yes. It's ready.
Yesterday, I stood in front of a lectern, so today I thought I'd try the microphone because Sasha said it was a better idea. So if everything goes wrong, it's on you. My name's Alexandra Hardy. Before I begin, it's an absolute pleasure to be here in Ljubljana, not only because I'm at this amazing conference, but also because I'm half Slovenian, and any excuse to leave my family and come here is a good one. So we're on the topic of personal well-being as initiation to Top Business Forum. I'm going to come at this from a personal perspective today and tell you my well-being story. But before I do, I'd like to just say a few words about the meaning of well-being. I'm 34 now, and if you'd have asked me until the age of 29, what is well-being? I would have said, oh, that's easy, it's health and fitness. Which isn't wrong, because that's physical well-being. And I asked my friends in preparation for this conference, guys, what's well-being for you? And they were like, easy. Work-life balance, you go to work, you come home, you have some beers, you see your family and friends on the weekend, you have some more beers, and then in Scotland, you have some fish and chips. That's also not wrong. But to me, well-being is a lot more than that. And I learned this a very hard way. I never really reflected on it, but over the last 5 years, I've done a lot of that. So this brings me to my story. In 2016, after the birth of our first child, our daughter Elena, who is now 4, my well-being completely went out the window. I was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. I was seeing things and hearing things that weren't there. I blamed my daughter, who was barely days old, for ruining my life, and I wanted to drown her. I was sure that the devil was trying to possess me and he was living in my bedroom. As a result, I was put in a mother and baby unit, which I'm not sure you have in Slovenia. In the UK, it's a specialist unit for mothers and babies under the age of 1 year, it's a psychiatric unit, for women suffering from serious maternal mental health issues post-birth. So I was psychotic and I was put in this unit and I lived there for 6 months. It's quite a blurred time of my life because I was so unwell, I don't remember everything. But I came out. And when I came out, I took some time off and I went back to work. And this was hugely, hugely positive for me. It was the return of the old Alex. I became empowered, I became confident, I thrived in the work environment. But I have to say I was lucky because I was working for a friend of mine who had a jewelry business. And he created an exceptionally good working atmosphere. He gave me flexi time and I could take time off when I needed it. And it was such a comfortable, safe place for me. And I went to work because I felt well, but being at work made me feel well. And he gave me that opportunity. So for 2 years, I worked away, and then I got pregnant again. And I thought, this is great, but this isn't going to happen again. I'm on loads of drugs, and I've got a great support network. Everything will be fine. But guess what? It wasn't fine. Last June, our little boy Jamie was born. If you want to see photos, you can ask me afterwards. He's incredibly cute. He's 7 months old now. And I was diagnosed with severe postpartum depression. So this time, compared to psychosis, where I didn't really know what was going on, I was in a lot of pain. And I took 2 overdoses, which resulted in severe, like my kidney and my liver being severely affected. I wanted to die. And this was all the illness. So I went back to the mother and baby unit, this time for 3 months. And, I got some more medication, which was great, but the key thing that I learned about when I was in hospital, with the help of the incredible staff, was about being well. And the meaning of holistic well-being. It's not just physical well-being, it's emotional well-being, it's mental well-being, it's practicing mindfulness, it's meditation, it's sleep hygiene, it's looking after yourself, it's being aware when you're beginning to feel anxious, it's having coping techniques. So I got out of hospital at the end of last September, and since then, I've been recovering. I've been doing a lot for my well-being. One thing I would say, though, is that it's very much had a ripple effect on my family. And I think, when you're married especially and you have children, understandably, if your well-being's not right, your family's well-being's not 100% right. So the example I have of this is that my husband was reluctant to share with his not-so-understanding employer that I had been unwell and that I'd come out of hospital and I needed help, a lot of help. And so, although he works from home, he said, okay, I'll look after you, I'll look after the children and our newborn baby, and I'll work from my office in our house. This had a massive impact on his personal well-being. But further than that, it impacted upon his professional well-being because he wasn't able to deliver what he was supposed to deliver as a result of his wife being unwell and having 2 small children to look after. I don't know if there's anyone in your company that you know going home to a situation like this. But I think it's about challenging assumptions because you never know if somebody is truly well or not. And well-being is something that needs to be learned. And of course, personal well-being is our responsibility, but, and it's evident that personal well-being is hugely important to initiating Top Business Forum. But there's a hell of a lot that companies and organizations can do to help their people. So I hope I've managed to raise some awareness regarding maternal mental health and how it has a ripple effect into a commercial context. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexandra. Yes, big hugs from all of us. Thank you for trusting us and sharing your poignant story. We're moved, and in equal measure, we're inspired. Thank you. I also want to say that you helped us also recognize well-being. We're understanding, like we're creating this definition of well-being through each one of you and your perspectives, but you helped us recognize it in this very unique perspective. So thank you for placing that honor back in its place. Thank you. Shall we? Yes. That's for you. If I could invite our last speaker, in no measure the least, if I may say so, Sunil Hasmukrai.
Good morning, everyone. If it's still morning.
No.
No? We have hit afternoon? Okay, so it's afternoon. Different time zone. Remember, I'm Malaysia still. So there was this very interesting conversation that was going on between a camel and the baby. So I'll say the mother and child in this narration, okay? So now the child asked the mother, "Mother, why is it that we are born with long, strong legs?" The mother says, "My child, we are born with long, strong legs so that we can walk for miles and miles in the desert." The child was so impressed and said, "Wow, mommy, that's so good. Can I ask you one more question, please?" "Yes, my child." "Mother, do you know in Slovenia, a lot of the beautiful women will go to the store nearby in Ljubljana and buy the fake eyelashes and actually use them and use a glue to stick them and use it for a whole day. Mother, why do we have such long, beautiful eyelashes?" "We are born with long, beautiful eyelashes because we are blessed so that we'll be able to protect our eyes when we walk for miles and miles in the desert." Wow. "Mother, one more question." "Yes, my child." Why? Because the mother's confidence was building and she was able to respond. Had it been an Asian mother, she probably said, "No, enough, shut up of questions." Enough of questions, no more. Because I don't know if I can answer, you see. Why are we born with such nice, beautiful body? Everyone in the world is aiming to have a nice 36, 24, 36 body vertically. You and I are born with horizontal. My child, what you see is called a hump. And that's so important because that will keep us hydrated as we walk for miles and miles in the desert. And now the child asks the question, "Mother, if we are born with long, strong legs to walk in the desert, if we are born with beautiful long eyelashes to protect our eyes while we are walking in the desert, and we have a hump to ensure that we are hydrated while we are walking in the desert, what on earth are we doing at the National Zoo of Ljubljana drinking hot chocolate?" My dear brothers and sisters, very often than not, we think that we are stuck. And every time that we think that we are stuck, we are actually limiting our beliefs. And the perspective of wellness that I would like to share and talk to you about is from the perspective of mind. Our mind is just like a projector. What do you see there? A projection of the live video? Suppose they were to change the live feed now to a PowerPoint slide. What would you see? A PowerPoint slide. So just like that, our mind is operating like a projector. Whatever you feed your mind is what you will see. And remember, your thoughts is what forms your destiny. My master, Bhagwan Satya Sai Baba, has actually narrated a very interesting way of sharing this. And let me read this out to you. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your action. Watch your action, they become your habit. Watch your habit, They become your character. And watch your character because they will form your destiny. My dear brothers and sisters, the thoughts that you and I put in our mind is going to determine our destiny, our future. Whether we are operating from stress or are we operating from abundance and happiness and excitement and all that, it's a personal choice that you and I have to make. Every morning when you wake up, are you waking up to, yes, this is going to be an exciting day, I'm going to be doing this, and that's going to be a successful day? Or do you wake up like, oh my God, another day. I have to go and mark, exam papers. I have to go and chair a board meeting. I need to go and, connect with the entire world and tell them what we are doing. What is the thought that's running our mind? And let me give you the first formula for this session, the 3H. Head, heart, hands. What we really need is the alignment between what we are thinking, what our heart is feeling, and what our hands is going to execute. 99% of the time, when you actually really analyze a conflicting situation in your mind or in your life, you will notice that the conflict happens because either the mind, the heart, or the hands, it's not aligned. And what we really need to do is start becoming aware of the thoughts that goes into our mind. And we have a choice in life, like I was mentioning yesterday, either to look at anything from a deficit lens or to look at everything from an appreciative lens. So the more you look at life from an appreciative lens, you find that you are more excited, you are happier, you are eager, and you are able to manage your personal wellness better. The very moment we start looking at everything from a fault perspective, looking at everything from the perspective of what's not going well, immediately we will start feeling horrible. And just like how when you and I, how many of you know what is swimming? What is? Swimming. Okay, you know water, swimming pool, pond, you jump, okay. So that's called swimming. Now when you go inside the pool, and suddenly you realize that, oh my God, your legs can't touch the bottom. What happens? You start cycling. Now you have two choices. One, to look down for where the floor is, or to look up and look for oxygen. What do you do? Look up or look down? Why up? The floor is down. Same thing in life. When we are faced with problems and challenges and difficulties, we have a choice. Either to look down and continue drowning in the problem, or to look up and see for possibilities. And as I end this speech, I would love to share with you two more formulas. One is called GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So what goes into your mind is what's going to come out. Okay? So instead of using GIGO, please use PIPO, which is positivity in, positivity out. And finally, when you talk about wellness, there is a 4D formula which we all must embrace, and I'm telling this to myself at a world conference. The first D is decision. Make a sincere decision and a commitment that your personal well-being is your priority. Second D is destination. Be very clear in the destination and the goal that you want to achieve when it comes to your personal well-being. Third D is direction. You can't be flying up north hoping to go to Malaysia because Malaysia is down south. Same thing. Clarity in the direction towards the goal is so important. And final D where none of this will ever happen is discipline. Discipline to make sure we take care of our own well-being is the key to our personal transformation, business transformation, and success in life. Thank you very much.
Sunil, you are a master of formulae, abbreviations, shortcuts, long cuts, PIPO, GIGO. Like, my page is filled with your notes. You gave us race yesterday. We're carrying that. It's extraordinary, really. That's why we don't have a lot of men here, but the ones we do, we keep. Thank you. And thank you to each one of you for reclaiming your own worlds, your own destinies with well-being, with wellness, and sharing that with us this afternoon. You've left us wholer, healed, and feeling so great. Thank you. Can we come together for a photograph so we can offer you our love? Yes. Okay, they're going to turn around for a selfie. That's the first. Do it, do it. Because we know. Yeah, woohoo! We know how to celebrate. Oh, wait. I'm coming in the selfie. Yeah. Where are you? 1, 2, 3. That was everyone. I love that.